Hey everyone, how's it going? I am iamxeracon and I am back once again. If I told you how pathetic modern games journalism is, you'd be surprised, right? Yeah, I didn't think so. The industry is constantly seeing how low it can get, and now we're seeing something that is on the level of memes. So, we have this games journalist, and I use that title loosely, who gives one of the spiciest takes of this year so far. Reminder that you don't need to be good at games to write about them, or stream them, or even make them. You don't need to finish a game to review it, to publish an opinion, or score. Most of the time, we don't get the time. I'm going to pause here to address this statement. Yes, you don't need to be good at games to write about them, stream them, or create them. It certainly helps to have some skill, but you don't need to be a pro to be a reviewer. However, if you are playing entire games like the Dean Takahashi Cuphead tutorial, you might want to reconsider your line of work. Now, on the topic of finishing a game to review it, absolutely. If you're giving a review for a product that people will be putting money out for, you had better have played the full game. The consumer is relying on you to have had a full and complete experience. That doesn't mean you have to have done a full 100% completion where you complete every side quest or find every collectible, but you should at the very least have completed the main story. Otherwise, you're merely giving your impressions on the game so far, not a review. And even if you are, playing a game and you just want to have it in a basic discussion, that's fine to discuss the game, but you shouldn't be calling it a review if you're not reviewing the full product. But let's go on. Whenever I see the usual suspects use these points as reasons to attack individuals, it shows how little they know about the industry they're supposedly champions of. It's pure pandering, grifting to an audience of hatred, so far from meaningful commentary and criticism. See this? It's Fantasyland stuff. Countless devs can't play their own games to a standard these folks will deem talented. A review is an experience. It's not a guide, a walkthrough, or a product description. Nor is it a bizarre flex of prowess. This stance is drivel. Now, I will agree with him here. Devs should not be expected to be good at games in order to make them. Heck, I am actually surprised when I see games with achievements that say, beat the dev's top score or time. I don't expect them to play the games they make, which sounds counterintuitive, but that's what beta testers are for, or at least when beta testers were actual employees and not the consumers. And again, you do not need to be an expert to play a game, but when you say that a review is an experience, which it should be, I expect you to have gone through the full experience, from start to finish, from press start to begin to the final credits. Regarding a statement about criticism though, while the example he provided was the remark of a fool, and I do agree that what the person said was idiotic, his industry cannot handle real criticism. When games journalists put out such moronic articles, or articles that show that they are not willing to do their job, they receive appropriate criticism, but they can't take it. They deflect and call them trolls, racists, misogynists, anything to make themselves look like a victim. They don't reflect and consider that maybe they're in the wrong. In addition, they need to be prepared to receive criticism by entering a public platform. Does it mean that people should harass them? No. But they shouldn't expect to only receive praise and affirmation. If they don't like it, they can pursue other avenues. No one put a gun to their heads and forced them to be games journalists. But moving along, here's a perfect response to the thread. To be fair, Mike, that's not a reminder, it's an opinion. In my opinion, you should finish a game to review it, especially if you're giving it a score. Otherwise, it's disingenuous at best. And I understand timing, embargoes, etc. Those impacting reviews is a separate issue.
Thank you!
Seriously, it's good to see some people have common sense, though I suppose it's starting to become uncommon sense. But timing and embargoes are a result of your publications and the gaming companies. Your publisher was the one who said that your article had to come out as soon as the embargo lifted, and the gaming companies forced you to review it, after a certain period of time, or provide you a review copy shortly before release. That has nothing to do with consumers. If you think it's unfair, you bring it up with them. It's not our problem. You're the one being paid to do the job. If you activists want to, write about how embargoes are unfair. So go and do that. Now, there's one person who completely agreed with Mike. It's Tony Palancho, or Palenko. I honestly, I apologize for butchering his last name. So feel free to criticize me in the comments and tell me how it's actually pronounced. But it's Tony from PC Gamer, and he has had quite a few hot takes. One being that he said that PC is a Microsoft platform, and I kid you not, he said that. And the other, which I wish I still had the screenshot for, was how 60 FPS sometimes wasn't better than 30 FPS. And this guy works at PC Gamer. Not that PC Gamer is the premier fount of knowledge, though I do utilize them sometimes in my videos. So he said, great thread, 100% agree. Do you review games that you haven't beat? Yup. How can you review a game that you haven't beat? There are gameplay elements and story beats that you could have missed that may change your opinion on the whole experience. Because you can get the gist of most games in 5 hours, I personally try to put 20 hours minimum into a game if I'm on a deadline, although I never go into any story details beyond what's in the first hour. I focus on the base gameplay mechanics. So, you can review Nier Automata and get the gist of the scope of its narrative after the first playthrough. Moving on to the next comment thread. Tony, you the homie, but yikes, lol. How can you properly review a game if you don't finish? Story-wise especially. What if the ending is bad? Cliffhanger. Bad final boss. Glitch happens, etc. I don't dive deep into a story. I focus on the base gameplay mechanics. If I can't tell a JRPG is good or bad after 30 hours, then I'm a bad reviewer, lol. But short games that are 10 hours, I always finish those. But even then, I would not delve deep into the story. I have an example of a game if I had reviewed it, the ending would drop the score. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Terrible last boss and closure on the game. I'd say much was left to be desired. If I didn't beat it, how would I know that you know? Gamers can't trust journos because of this. For games like that, 10-hour narrative-driven games, I always finish. But if I can't tell you if a big open-world game is good after 30 hours, my minimum for those games, then I'm a bad reviewer. But even those 10-hour games, I would not delve into the story deeply. I'm gonna have to pause here for a second. This guy is not, he's just not getting it. The first half of a game can be good, yes, but that doesn't mean that the second half will also be good. You cannot make such assumptions. You need to finish the game. Personally, I think you are a bad reviewer if you are not reviewing a full product that I would be spending my money on. And you don't need to talk about every aspect of the story, yes, but if there is something that bogs down the experience midway through, or if a character suddenly makes decisions that have been contrary to their personality and thought process for no explicable reason, that's something worth addressing. But we're almost done, let's finish this. Mechanically though, I feel it's important to finish too because, say it's a Metroidvania that has you unlock abilities, how those abilities are utilized in the final moments matter. Difficulty as well. In general, gamers want to know if the gameplay overstays, gets better or worse, etc. You can tell if a game is overstaying its welcome without finishing it. And again, I never delve into things at the end of the game even in games I finish. Most people don't care about that. They just want to know if the game is good or not. Well, all I can say is, if this is a regular thing for journalists, I hope they aren't surprised when gamers trust YouTubers and streamers more. LOL. Journos, not saying you, tend to show resentment to gamers. Meanwhile, they're probably not beating games the whole time. Wild, LOL. To be fair, most people don't finish games in general. But yeah, I say to people to go to places they trust for reviews. I'm just explaining how things work in the industry and how unrealistic it is to expect journalists to finish every game they review. Okay, going to your statement about people not finishing games in general, sure, that's true. I haven't beaten every game I own. However, the point you are consistently failing to get is that I am not being paid to play these games. I am not writing reviews for them. I do not have to finish the game. You do. Geez, gaming journalism is probably one of the laxest industries. The journalists talk about how finishing games is so hard for a living. When I was in high school, I could finish games because I had the time to do so outside of school. If I wasn't in college and working right now, I would have time to start clearing out my backlog. They think they have it so bad. When I was working at a catering job, we didn't stop doing our jobs because we felt tired or stressed. We got the job done even if we were going to be working late. And this is doing manual labor, by the way, not sitting at a desk or a couch playing video games or typing reviews. And when I worked at UPS in one of their warehouses, it was even more strenuous. Summer was nasty because of the heat, and the holiday rush was worse because of the obvious increase in package volume. We didn't get to stop working on our tasks because we felt like it because we felt like it, or felt like we had completed enough work, unlike these journalists. The bar is so low that anyone can become a games journalist these days, and while I think it's great for those who are genuinely passionate about gaming and gaming news, it allows the industry to be infested with the garbage we see. If you're someone who lives and dies by Metacritic, just remember, those glowing reviews that you use to bash another platform might be by people who didn't even finish the game. But that will do it for today. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. I really appreciate that. There should be another video coming tomorrow, if not the following day, but we'll see. Quite a bit of interesting stuff came out yesterday, including this video, and I am thrilled to have some material to talk about. So stay tuned for that. Let me know what your thoughts about this matter are in the comments below, and feel free to subscribe to, or join my Discord server. So until next time everyone, I am iamxeracon signing off. Have a good one.